Alright, Shabbat Shalom everybody, and you are welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. So, we are in a new book, the book of Bamidbar, the book of the wilderness, the book of the desert. So now, we thank our God for this great love that has given us, that we can meet the book of Bamidbar, and we can go and study it even more and more in depth. Now, I subtitle the Parashat of this morning as individual within the greater whole. Individual within the greater whole. That is the subtitle. And before I start, I would like to give us a story. A short, very short story. But I want you to put that story at the back of your mind, because I'm going to ask us questions later about that story. Okay. So, there was a group of people. They were going in a boat. See? It's a group of men, people, men, women, it doesn't matter. Group, so they were in a boat. As they were going, so they all sat, everybody sat on their seats. So as they were moving in the water, one of the man took a screw, a sharp object, like a sword, let's say so he begins to drill, like a drill, begin to drill his seat. So the rest people are looking at him, what are you doing? He said, God, I'm not disturbing you, I'm drilling my seat. It is my seat, not your seat. Everybody have their own seat, So, but he begins to drill. Then the people say, what are you doing? He said, it doesn't concern you. It is my seat that I am drilling. Then they told him, oh, if you drill and you break the boat, if the water comes in, all of us are in trouble. Because it is not your seat, it's everybody that's going to be in trouble at this time. Put that story in your mind. Okay, so I'm going to start. Several commentaries connect Bamidbar, the desert, as the prime location for the giving of the Torah. The Har Sinai was not the highest or the tallest or the mightiest mountain. It stood smaller and less imposing than the most of the surrounding mountains, representing humility, a necessary ingredient for one to succeed in the study of the Torah. Additionally, the desert is an area of the world that is ownerless. Nobody owns it, right? Who want to live in the desert? Who want to be the owner of the desert? Nobody, right? Reflecting the notion of how no one person can claim the Torah as a uniquely his own. No, the Torah is given for everybody. The Torah is available for all of us to embrace as long as we keep awake, as long as we continue to study. This is what I'm saying. Har Sinai in the Sinai desert in Saudi Arabia. Forget about what they told you in Egypt. Sinai is not in Egypt. Har Sinai is in the Saudi Arabia. Okay, that's where Har Sinai, where the Torah was given, is in Saudi Arabia. Alright, and this mountain is just a little mountain. It's not, I think Sinai, the height of Sinai is a little bit above 2,000 meters. Like, to be precise, 2,285 meters. That is the mountain. 2,285 meters high. And we have in the Saudi, surrounding it, we have a lot of mountains that is 3,000. That's not even 3,500 meters high. It's just a little mountain, God didn't give us the Torah on Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is in Tanzania. It's 4,700 something meters. God didn't give us the Torah on Mount Everest, which is the highest mountain in the world, 9,000 meters plus. No, but He gave us the Torah on that small mountain. That's just a small mountain. Representing what? Representing humility. For you, for me, for us to succeed in our life, we have to be humble. Without humbleness, we forget about it. A proud man, God disowned, God put down. And a humble man, God will lift up. That is the idea. And the idea of the desert is also this. In the desert, as I said, desert is ownerless. Nobody owns it, right? In the desert, you are what? You are dependent. Remember that. In the desert, you depend upon the mercy of the Holy One, blessed be He. Because in the desert, there is a lot of danger in the desert. Serpent, scorpion, wild animals, they are there ready to bounce on you and to devour you into pieces. Remember, this analogy is like the analogy of what is going on in the world. In the world that we don't know anything about. The Creator created the world. We have no idea of what is going on in the world. But God that created the world knows where dangers are, knows where the pits are, knows where the holes are, knows where the enemy, the white enemy is waiting to capture you, right? And God is saying, the Torah is your guide. I'm going to give you this Torah as a guide. Because the world is full of danger. I created it that way. It is my choice. It is God's choice to do it that way. But this book will guide you. This book will be your GPS as we know it of today. Turn 200 meters to the left. You drive 200 meters to the left. You continue. No, recalculating. Turn back. You turn back again. Because if you do not obey, you are going to jam traffic. And you are going to sit in the traffic so you can get by. Okay, because you don't listen to what the GPS said. No. So if you listen, the GPS directs you faster to get to where you are going. The same idea here. The idea is that the Torah will guide us, lead us back to the Garden of Eden, to where we have the tree of life. That is it. But the idea here is it that we should return back to the garden and take of the tree of life and eat and live eternally. That is the dream of every man, to live eternal life. So that is what I'm saying this morning. So the Torah is not given to us on one proud or one highest mountain, but it's a little one. And the wilderness is a place where nobody owns it, where we depend upon rain, where we depend on God to send us rain. And when the rain comes down, the flowers or the fruit or the vine or the bread will grow. We all depend upon God. So that person that will come and tell you, I'm completely free, I'm completely sovereign, is lying to you. But there is no complete freedom under the sun. God gave us a limited freedom. God wants us to depend on Him. God wants us to see Him as our Father. When anything happens, we run to Him. God, help me. God, send the rain. God, I want the rain to rain in my land. I'm not only about the physical land, I'm talking about in the spirituality. Right. So this is the idea of the Torah. Bamidbar. Take a census of the entire assembly of the children of Israel, the community. Do it by family, following the paternal line, according to the name of each male, taken individually. The term Shehu in the Torah, which is translated as census, reflects not a census per se. It reflects the understanding here is it. The understanding is rising up the air. Rising up. That's what it indicates. The counting of the Hebrew people was used to lift them up in importance. This was accomplished in two ways. First, the act of counting the Hebrew people created a sense of community among the individuals who were now part of a larger whole. Right? Remember, the title of today's message is Individual Within the Greater Whole. Individual within the greater whole. God is not telling us about point A, Lillian, point B. That's not what He's saying. What God is saying, there is a start, and it is spiral. It's like this, and it goes up. It's not line 1 to line B. No, it's not linear. Because the understanding of a Greek man is a linear understanding. And in the nature, there is nothing linear in nature. What God has created, you can never ever find a straight line. No. It's all about secular. It's spiral. It goes, he said, what goes round comes round. It's spiral every time. The universe is spiral, nothing straight. Straight is an illusion. it's a fantasy of the man, not of the Creator himself. Everything is what? Is prayer. So God is telling us here that in the wilderness, we as an individual, we as a person, we are part of a greater whole. Don't forget about the story I said. The man begins to drill the boat, saying, it is my seed, it is my life, it is me, it is me, it is me. I, ego. It's all about me. Yes, it is good, it's your seed. We are not denying that. It is you who own that seed. But if you drill that seed and the water begin to come in, all of us will be in a mess. So therefore, you are not alone. You are part of a greater whole. You are part of everybody. Oh, no, Mama, leave me alone. Papa, don't tell me any nonsense. I am an adult. It is my life. I can do whatever I want to do with my life. Okay, if anything happens to you, don't you think that it will go to affect your mama? Don't you know it's going to affect your papa? Don't you know that it's going to affect your senior brother, your junior sister? All the family will be affected. Yeah, I know it is your life, but you are not alone. That is the idea. You are in a collective. A country say, we want to be a good country. Right? Fine. We want to grow and progress. Wonderful. And we say, man can live with a man. How can the country progress? Can a man and a man bear children? Oh, it is a civilization. Woman and woman can live together. It is love. Then, how can a woman and a woman born? How will the country grow? I mean, how are you going to have more development in the country if nobody born, everybody die, everybody grow, everybody die sleeping in? That is the idea. You are not alone. That is what the Torah is saying. We are part of a whole. We are a whole. But the idea of individualism, the idea is and say that, everything is for me and me and me. No. Remember, we are all in together. On the first day of the second month, in the second year after the exodus from Egypt, in the wilderness of Sinai, a censor or rising up the head of the people was commanded by God. This is not a censor of individual whose information is collected, correlated, and stored separately from the information gathered on others. This is a censor of a nation according to its two most important components, the tribe and the house of the father. That is, one's extended family through the father's lines. Remember that the Torah is written in the language of men, of the man, right? So the Torah is not being sexist. Because I know my people here, we are very feminist, wow, why is not the mother's line, I understand that, but the Torah says the father's line. So why? Because your father's line is extremely, extremely important. I understand after Babylon, I understand what happened after the return from Babylon or from Persia, right? Where everything was turned upside down, that a Hebrew man has to be known through the mother's line. It is not biblical. It's not Torah based. Torah always talk about the father's line, the father's line, the father's line, the father's name, the father's name, the father's name, right? Because we say the God of our fathers, right? And that's our prayer today. God of our fathers. God of Abraham, Isaac, and what? And Jacob. Why can't you say the God of our mothers? I'm not saying that God is not the God of our mother, it's the same God of our mother, but his name that will correct the God of our fathers. Because God has an intimate relationship with Abraham. And he said, with this we shall be known. Right? With Isaac, his son, and with Jacob, his grandson. But this is the idea that in Ethiopia, we are known by our father's line, not our mother's line. And when they want to bring us back to Israel, say, we have to convert. Convert to what? I've never left my faith from the beginning. No, they told us we have to convert. We have to realize that now we have to be counted from our mother's side. What am I converting to? It doesn't make sense to me. There are Europeans who were taken from Eastern Europe, right, to bring them to Israel. And 90% of these people were not even circumcised. And me that was born circumcised on the day that God had commanded. Because I did not recognize your mother's side, they say, no, I have to convert. Convert to what? It doesn't make sense to me. So this is, we can say, the logic of a man and the logic of God. God is saying they have to be counted on their father's side. Everybody counted. So that we can know those that go to religion in Israel, that go to the army to defend, to fight. And to how many armies that we have. Right? Remember, it is not by the armies that you win. It's by His grace, it's by His power. Okay? But just to make sure that we know who and who is who. Individual in a collective whole. Alright, so by showing that the individual is a unit within a greater component, the Torah is stressing that in order to reach our true potential as an individual, we must participate for good in the greater whole. The Torah is about justice within a society and not about finding a personal redemption. Right? In truth, a community is only truly effective when the individual an individual who formed it are united in a common direction. A community, a town, a state, a country is only known by those who formed it. And who are those that form a community, form a town, form a city? It's individual. Right? So if you are now saying, what, I can commit a crime and no problem. I can be a fraud man, then that society is doomed. Because individual, if all of them are criminals, what kind of a town, what kind of a city is that? If all of them are fraudsters, if all of them defraud each other, if all of them respect none of each other, if all of them is against the law of the land, what kind of a people or what kind of a town or what kind of a state will that be? There will be chaos everywhere. But if we that form the town adhere to a sense of rules, of God, we can say a law that guides us and we all obey it, then the society will be a better society. Okay, God said, thou shalt not kill. I will not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. I don't do that. Thou shalt not take another person's wife. Okay, because I know that if they take my wife, I'll be so upset because I don't want nobody to take my wife. I don't want nobody to take my children. Don't take other people's children. I don't want another person to take my land because I'll be upset if another person takes my land. So I respect that, and everybody respect that, then there are going to be peace in the society. But if I don't do that, or other people doesn't do that, nobody obeys it, then we're going to be in a mess. Don't forget, what comes round, or what goes round, comes round. It's a circle, as I always say. The Egyptian, as sages told us, he said, what is happening now is not new. It has started from the time of old. When men think that they are civilized, right? When men think that they have advanced knowledge and understanding, they come, because they are jobless, they come with some stupid idea. In Egypt, it started, right? They say, no, don't born. The Egyptian at that time, they said, the Egyptian at that time, they born one, maximum two in the family. They don't born. He said, oh, we are civilized. We are the greatest power in the world. We are the richest, right? We are the most supreme. We are the Lord of all the earth. Nobody is like us. They don't born. And the Israelites born. And the Torah says the land of Egypt was filled with the children of Israel. And because of that, they despised them. Why? These people, they born too much. They born 10. They born. What is your business? You don't want to born? Me, I born. No? And now they born and they are still using them as slaves. But they still born, they multiply. And they hate it even more. Right? Now, when they left, Egypt was ruined. Because there was no more workers to do anything for them. So we need to understand this. like in our country, you know what? I don't worry. We're going to import immigrants. There'll be a time you are going to import immigrants that the immigrant will finish. Then, how are you going to survive? I will see. Because we cannot base our life on immigrants. The government has to encourage the people to born. Let us talk about this stupidity that we're doing about meeting up some LGBT, right? Help people to born, reproduce. Then the nation can survive. Canada can stand firm. You don't need too much. We need immigrants. I understand that, but we should encourage the people here to born, to reproduce. That is the idea. It's very nice. It helps the country. Because as we grow old, it is those young people that will work that we can be able to get our pension. If there is no workers, you cannot get your pension, my friend. Right? That is the idea. So, as I said, remember, the Holy One Blessed He is telling us, as in a community, we are part of it. It is not, we are not individual. We are not outside, the society. Because the idea that, man is outside the creation. Understand? That's our idea now. Man is not part of the creation. That is what we put in our head. I am above the creation. And so therefore, since I am not part of the creation, since I am above the creation, I can abuse the creation. I can pollute the creation. I can destroy the creation. Nothing will happen because I'm not part of it. But if you pollute the creation, don't forget that you are part of that creation. Because if you pollute the planet, you eat from the planet and you poison yourself. Your food does not come. I've never seen someone that says his food comes from space. If your food comes from space, then maybe you are different. But your food is from here, no? Yeah, hallelujah. Right? Your fish, your meat, everything is from here, no?
Yeah.
And when you eat it, you poison your own system. And then you come and say, you have this issue. Yeah, because you pollute it, because you think yourself that you are above the creation. No, you are part of the creation, and you have to respect, you have to protect, you have to guard that creation. Even though you are the head, that doesn't mean that you are above it. The head is here, is above the entire body, right? But it's part of the body. You cannot say that I am different, I am above it. No, it's part of the body. Right? You have to respect that understanding. And then we can be able to live in harmony with the nature. And everything will be fantastic. Remember, the Torah is not about religion. The Torah is a relationship. It is our relation with our Creator. It is a relation with our individual. It is a relation with the whole community. It's a relation with the nature, with everything surrounding holistically. I come back to the story. The man begins to dream. Is that man that said, I, it is me, I don't care. Everything is only about me. The rest people, I don't give a damn. But remember that we are all in the same boat. All of us are in the same boat, my friend. And I will not allow you to sink me. No. I won't allow you to destroy my own life. Because if you drill it and the puncture and the water gush in, everybody goes down. For example, I don't know how to swim. Jade know how to swim, my children know how to. I cannot swim. And so therefore, I don't want to suffocate and die. So I will not allow you to sink my boat. Even though it is not my boat, but I'm part of that boat. So I claim it as my boat. Because I want everybody to survive. I want us to reach our destination. And our destination is the Garden of Eden. Why do you want to sink? He said, about saying, it is my own, it is my own. Yeah, it is your own seed. That seed is given you. But remember that if you commit any bad thing on that seed, it's going to affect everybody. It's not only you that it will affect, it's the whole community. A person sinned, the whole community got punished because of the sin of one person. Right? We can see those examples, a lot of them in the Torah, thousands of them. Korah is there. Korah was so proud, but his children were not part of it. But his children face the consequence. Some of his wives also face the consequence. His property face all those consequences. We have a lot of people, example like that. Men, only one man sinned. Like, for example, David sinned, the king, right? How many people were wiped out in one day? Like 6,000, 7,000 people died because of sin of one king. Those people, they did nothing wrong, no? So this is what God is saying. That one man's sin can spread disease upon the whole community. So we have to understand that we as an individual are part of the whole. We don't want anything to happen to the entire community. Parashat Bamidbar. Individual within the greater whole. We are individual. Very important. Well, each of us have our own characteristics. We all have our own personality. No two persons is the same. Even though an identical twins are not the same, they have their own personality. Right? But we should all remember that we are within the community. And the most important is not about me, it's about the community. We always say, oh, you know, in my town, it's not about, I'm ready to do everything to make sure that my town survives. It's not about me. But I put it in the greater, I look at it that there is a greater thing to come, which is the whole, to protect the whole. Parashat Bamidbar. Shabbat Shalom.